إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. وبعد, dear respected brothers and sisters, today inshallah we're going to talk in this episode about the foundation of human relationships. How to have successful relationships in this world with everybody in your family, at work, with your colleagues, and with people outside of your circle. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about this foundation in verse number 53 in Surah Al-Isra when He said, وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنْزَغُ بَيْنَهُمْ إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ كَانَ لِلْإِنسَانِ عَدُوًّا مُبِينًا. Tell my servants to say only what is best. To say only what is best. This is the foundation of good relationships. Whether it's your relation with people at work or with people in the family, people are Muslims and non-Muslims. Very important as well when you deal with non-Muslims to keep this verse in mind. So what is the meaning of التي هي أحسن? To say what is best. Scholars of tafsir, when they talked about this particular term, they defined it in different ways. First one, for example, we're going to quote today is Imam al-Baghawi when he said, يقول التي هي أحسن هي كلمة الإخلاص. To say لا إله إلا الله, to announce your aqidah, to announce your belief, to announce your sincerity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying لا إله إلا الله. And we can narrate from the Sunnah, for example, that Rasulullah used to walk in the streets of Medina and tell people, يا أيها الناس جددوا إيمانكم, as Imam Ahmad narrated in his collection of Hadith al-Musnad, that Rasulullah used to say to people in Medina, in the streets of Medina, "O people, renew your faith, renew your iman." They would say, "Ya Rasulullah, كيف نجدد إيماننا?" How can we renew my iman? Our iman. How can we renew our iman? The Prophet would say, قولوا لا إله إلا الله. Say لا إله إلا الله. There is no God to be worshipped except Allah. And now I also encourage you to join the Prophet ﷺ and his companions. And I also encourage myself and you to renew our iman by saying, لا إله إلا الله. So that is the first meaning of وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Tell my servants to say only what is best. The second meaning is mentioned by Imam al-Qurtubi rahimahullah in his tafsir, Al-Jami' لأحكام القرآن, the compendium of the rulings of the Quran. He said, saying what is best to people is to use the best words and to be soft and respectful when you debate other people. Whether you are debating someone on an academic level who is a Muslim or non-Muslim, or people outside of your community. Except if someone is attacking your religion, you're not supposed to be soft with him. You have to be harsh sometimes. But you have to start with being very soft and choose the best words. And the reason to that is because when you argue with someone or when you debate someone in front of people in particular, especially when you're in front of people, that person is already against you. He's already having something in his heart against you. So you're not supposed to make it worse by trying to be hard on him in front of people or disrespectful. You have to be very respectful even when you debate people, Muslims and non-Muslims. And the reason for that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. When you debate other people, debate them in the best manner ever. Choose the best words. And before that Allah said, أُدْعُ إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. Because when you debate other people, when you're talking about a religious matter, that's a part of your da'wah effort. That's a part of trying to invite someone to your religion. So if I want to do da'wah or invite someone to my religion, I'm not supposed to be harsh on him. I'm supposed to choose the best words even when I debate with him. Some people, when they debate other people, especially non-Muslims, they become very harsh and disrespectful, and they start to attack them personally, to attack their person, and to attack their belief, and to even attack their gods. You know, people worship different things around the world. And sometimes some of those things that people worship don't really make sense to you. Yes, I understand. They don't have to make sense to you if people are worshiping something other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at the same time, I'm not allowing to insult them or to insult their gods or to give them names. And the reason to this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Al-An'am, وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Do not insult people who worship other than Allah, or do not insult whatever they worship or whomever they worship other than Allah or besides Allah. Do not insult them or their gods. Why is that? Because I respect them? Because I believe in the same thing? No, because of that. Because as a believer, you're not supposed to attack other people's faith or other people's person. Allah said immediately, if you did that, they would, astaghfirullah, insult Allah in return. فَيَسُبُّ اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. They will go beyond, over and beyond the limits. They will cross the limits that you have. You will put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that situation. You will expose Allah Azza wa Jal to being attacked. Just because you attacked my God, I'm going to attack your God. You attacked my God that I worship, I'm going to attack your God that you worship. That's what people would say. Be very careful. Don't put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that situation. Allah said, وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. The third meaning of وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي يَقُولُ الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ, the foundation of good relationships, is when somebody does something bad to you. One of the qualities of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Al-Imam Al-Hasan said, is to make dua for him. To say to him, يَغْفِرُ اللَّهُ لَكَ, may Allah forgive you. Somebody insulted you. Are you able to tell him, may Allah forgive you? It's like when somebody insults you, our parents used to teach us in the past, when somebody says something bad to you, you say, Allah ysamhak, may Allah forgive you. Can you do this? Can you suppress your anger and your frustration, and instead of paying him back, and you're able to, because you can say the same thing or worse, but because you're a believer, you're going to choose what is best as Allah told you to keep good relation. Just say, may Allah forgive you, make dua for him, may Allah have mercy on him, may Allah guide you, as Imam Al-Hasan said. The fourth meaning is ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم. When you respond to people, respond in the best way ever. Even if they said something bad, you respond in the best way by making dua, by saying may Allah forgive you, by just being better than him. And what happens if you do this is that your enemy, the person that you have animosity with, he will become a close friend, as Allah said, كأنه, as if he is a close friend, one of your close friends, because he wants to be next to someone like you, who has these manners and this akhlaq. The next meaning of يقول التي هي أحسن, to say what is best and to have good relationships with everyone, is to spread peace, to spread salam to Muslims and non-Muslims, according to some scholars. It's a controversial issue when it comes to non-Muslims. Am I supposed to deliver salam to those people or not? To Muslims, of course, it's recommended, and returning the salam to you is an obligation, as Imam Al-Qurtubi mentioned in Al-Jami' Al-Ahkam Al-Quran, his book, the compendium of the rulings of the Quran. When you say Assalamu alaikum to someone, that's a sunnah. It's recommended. But for him to return the salam to you, it's an obligation. What about non-Muslims? We have different opinions amongst the scholars. Some scholars said you're not allowed to say Assalamu alaikum to any non-Muslim under any circumstances. Some scholars said you can spread peace even to non-Muslims who are not against you or your religion, who are not muharibun, not against you and your religion. And we have narrations on both sides and evidences on both sides, which is not the file that I want to open right now. But what I want to tell you is that it is a controversial issue amongst the scholars. Al-Imam Al-Awza'i, rahimahullah ta'ala, when he was asked with his experience and his background, he read the evidences of both groups. When he was asked, are we supposed to deliver salam to non-Muslims, even if they are not against us and our religions. Are we allowed to deliver salam to them? He said, إن سلمت فقد سلم الصالحون. If you want to deliver salam to peaceful non-Muslims, some of the righteous people in the past did that. وإن لم تسلم أو وإن تركت فقد ترك الصالحون. And if you don't want to deliver salam to them and you're convinced with this other opinion, also some of the righteous, educated people before you did not deliver salam to non-Muslims, did not initiate salam to non-Muslims. So we have different opinions in this regard. So now let's summarize what we have said. How to keep a good relationship with every person, Muslim and non-Muslim. Number one is to announce my Tawheed, La ilaha illallah, proudly. Number two is when I debate in the best manner ever without attacking or degrading or defaming anyone or attacking their gods or their belief. Number three is to make dua for people frequently, even if they did something bad to me. Number four is to spread salam to everyone. The occasion of the revelation of this ayah will make us understand it even more. Imam al-Qurtubi, again in his tafsir, he mentioned that this ayah was revealed regarding a man who came to insult and attack Sayyidina Umar, and he was going to fight with him. And Sayyidina Umar was so angry and frustrated. But Allah revealed this ayah, وَقُلْ لِعِبَادِي, tell my servants to say only what is best. So Sayyidina Umar was able to come down and to follow this verse. And then Allah said, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَنْزَغُ بَيْنَهُم. Indeed, the shaitan is the one who causes problems between them. Because a nazgh in Arabic language is to stab someone quickly with a knife in your hand. So basically the shaitan, he causes problems very quickly amongst people as if he's tapping them in their relationship and destroying it. And we're going, inshallah, to speak more about the plots and the footsteps in the shaitan in the next 2 episodes, and what is the solution if we want to combat the shaitan, if we want to be able to combat him and his plots that he does against us. In the next 2 episodes, inshallah, that's going to be our topic. But for now, let me conclude with the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. لا يشيرن أحدكم إلى أخيه بحديدة. You're not allowed to have a knife in your hand or any sort of sword in your hand to joke with your brother or to point it at him out of, playing with him or being joyful or trying to, threat him in a way, because the Nabi said, because the shaitan might do nazgh. He might poke you and you would harm your brother out of fault because the shaitan has done this to you. So be careful when you treat people and keep your relationship. وَقُولُوا الَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Inshallah, we'll continue with this idea of what the shaitan does to us in the next episodes. 2 episodes, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون